So Quentin Grimes, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and Ricky Council did not feel like tanking at 1 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon as they carried the Sixers to victory against the Dallas Mavericks. What does that mean for their tank for the rest of the season? We're going to break it all down here on NZ for 3. But first, I do want to react to this Paul Reed post that was pretty interesting and got Sixers fans riled up. I just think this is so funny, man, that the Sixers soap opera continues. Daryl Morey calling out Sixers fans, and now we got Paul Reed saying that they thought I was the problem. Face palm emoji. He was reacting to a Keith Pompey post talking about the Sixers record and how trash it is. And I guess Paul Reed felt a need to comment and, rattle Sixers fans a little bit. And they've been all coming at him, not like really in much of an antagonistic way. Most fans at least just saying like, what? We had no idea what you're talking about. We never blamed you for anything. And that's 100% true. I'm not trying to do any revisionist history here, but I don't remember any Sixers fans putting significant blame on Paul Reed for the team's failures. It was a lot more on just the front office handing out so many stupid contracts and not making the right amount of good trades or good free agent signings, or not even giving Joel Embiid a proper backup center. I think it is kind of sad that Paul Reed was the best backup center Joel Embiid ever had. He was averaging like 7 points, 6 rebounds last year when he had an actual chance to be the solidified backup center for the team, and those are decent numbers, but really just not good enough. And Paul Reed is kind of the type of player that gives you just an injection of energy on the court in stints, like in time periods throughout the game where you just need a jolt of energy, but he really isn't the type of guy you want to be playing consistent minutes on a contender. I don't know how the Pistons are going to use him in the playoffs, whether he'll get any minutes. When he did play in the playoffs for the Sixers, he kind of fizzled out. Didn't really have much of an impact in the Knicks series. Speaking of that, it kind of reminds me, and this is kind of why I'm not really upset with this post at all. Paul Reed kind of just tends to say weird things. Like before the Knicks series, he was talking about how the Knicks were the easier team for the Sixers and that the Sixers wanted to play the Knicks because they didn't want to play the Celtics. And that's a 100% true statement. The Celtics are stacked, and they were stacked last year. And I would rather play the Knicks over Boston. But that's just not really something you say in public because you're just looking to get clowned on, and that's what kind of happened. And, so now Paul Reed moves over to Detroit, playing 9 minutes a game. I checked on Basketball Reference, and I guess he's still getting some time in the NBA, which is cool because I like Paul Reed. Paul Reed was a really entertaining player to watch, and unfortunately was the best backup center the Sixers ever had, but that's not really his fault. I think he's just a guy who can play just 9 minutes a game, just give you some energy, but really play serious minutes on a contender, I don't think so. But it's cool to see Paul Reed still survive in the NBA, and it makes me realize that Paul Reed has not missed the NBA playoffs once in his entire career, assuming that the Pistons are going to slide in there. Paul Reed, man, I guess he is a winning player after all, and the Sixers are nothing without him. But that's pretty much it. We got Daryl Morey clowning on Sixers fans going at him. Now we got some strife between Sixers fans and some former Sixers players. Talk about an absolute soap opera. This entire season has been drama after drama. So stupid. Why can't we just talk about basketball, man? And we'll do that right now because the Sixers ended up winning against the Dallas Mavericks. And Jalen Hood-Schifino, just a phoenix from the ashes in this game. This dude was balling like he was prime Tracy McGrady, hitting step-back threes, pulling up, driving to the basket, getting buckets. And, we had Ricky Council, too, going 4 for 8. He had 13 points. Ricky Council, he's probably one of the most bipolar NBA players I have ever seen. He was good in this game. I'm not going to lie. He had 10 rebounds, 13 points. I'm glad that Ricky Council, in the minutes that he is getting, is really fighting out there, trying his best. But the dude just, he's Paul Reed if Paul Reed was a wing player. You know what I mean? Just another guy who just brings energy, but not much fundamentals, not really any consistency whatsoever. Just super chaotic out there, can make some really stupid plays and just kind of fizzle out. Doesn't, like a player that you kind of look at the screen and say, wait, he was playing 5 minutes in this game? Yeah, Ricky Council has sort of had a really disappointing season, and I was someone who was really big on him coming into this season, thought he can get some good minutes competing with Gershon Yabusele, but yeah, it was clear who the better player was. Yabu kind of getting back into his groove as well, but yeah, Ricky Council, he has not been good. I don't know if he's going to remain with the Sixers any longer, and if he does get traded or whatever to another team, that's awesome. I hope he can really make an impact there. But Ricky, I feel like Ricky, when he gets on the court, he kind of tries to just deviate from what he is best at. When Ricky is doing, like pump fakes on the perimeter and just bursting right to the rim, just kind of playing without thinking, kind of having that Kelly Oubre mindset. I feel like with the way Ricky is playing, that is the type of player that Kelly Oubre haters think Kelly Oubre is. Like how Ricky Council just does the stupidest things on the court at times. But Ricky can do some really awesome things too. Like, pump fake several times during the season, thinking he was going to take a three. But no, pump fake, go right to the rim. Just smart, patient plays that Ricky was making. And I hope he can be a decent rotational player somewhere else. But I don't think it's really going to work out with the Sixers and the direction they're going in, especially when you got Justin Edwards too, kind of being the Ricky Council replacement. Who else we got to talk about, man? Oh yeah, Jared Butler. Jared Butler went 2 for 7 in this game, but I like Jared Butler a lot, man. I think he could be a decent backup point guard for the Sixers. He just has a very clean style of play. Just a tight handle, doesn't really do anything wrong. Yeah, sometimes his shot doesn't fall, but he can make some really decent passes. Jared Butler can definitely be one of the better backup point guards the Sixers have had, especially over Kyle Lowry. Oh, holy cow. I do not want to see Kyle Lowry play basketball ever again. He had a Hall of Fame career, but he has been dog shit with the Sixers this season. I can't take it anymore. Please, no more Kyle Lowry. Jared Butler, make him the backup point guard of the 76ers. Let him develop and keep him around for next year. Speaking of guys on the Sixers who might or might not be cut from the team for next season, we got Ricky Council. And Ricky Council, man, where to start with Ricky Council IV? I think he's definitely one of the most bipolar NBA players I've ever seen on like that Furkan Korkmaz tier. And I think he is shows a lot of similarities to Paul Reed, man, in that they're both super chaotic. They can inject a lot of energy into your team in spurts, but when you kind of give them consistent minutes, they kind of, really start to show their flaws. And Ricky Council, I feel like with the way he has been playing this season and just underperforming, not getting any time at all, really being outplayed by Justin Edwards and not really impressing. I think a lot of Sixers fans had higher expectations for Ricky, and there have been instances during the season where he has just looked flat out awful. And I feel like with the way Ricky Council is playing, that the way Ricky Council plays is what Kelly Oubre haters think Kelly Oubre actually is. I think Ricky Council is the Raul Neto of Kelly Oubre's. I think Kelly just has a lot more intangibles and a lot more shot-making ability and better on defense, makes better decisions defensively. Kelly is not a perfect player by any means, but, he hustles too, and he's just a much better shot maker. And so is Justin Edwards, man. And what I'm thinking about with the Sixers and their future, how many guys are going to start getting cut, even if they are young as well, because you got Ricky Council, but you also got Justin Edwards, and Justin Edwards has clearly shown to be a lot better. And then you throw Quentin Grimes into the mix too. The Sixers are looking pretty decent on the wing for the future, and I think they could probably make some more upgrades other than Ricky Council. And if Ricky can find a role on another team, that'd be awesome, man, because I hope he can go to another playoff contending team too, and maybe show some stuff and revive his career. But I don't know if it's going to work here in Philly for the foreseeable future. And Jeff Dowtin too, fighting for his NBA life as well. Jeff Dowtin has just been a mid-range maestro. I didn't even know this was a part of his game. I just thought that he was a dude who can, pass the ball pretty well, be a decent ball handler, but not really much of a scorer. But he's been balling out recently, like hit his career high, hitting like over 20 plus points in multiple games for the Sixers. And unfortunately, the Sixers were able to win in this game, but even with down going off, they were still able to lose. But hey, you can't lose them all, I guess. I kind of did view this game as sort of a scheduled win. You got the Dallas Mavericks playing only 8 guys out there. Nico Harrison has destroyed that franchise. I feel so bad for Dallas Mavericks fans, man. I mean, I know we're Sixers fans. No one really has it worse than we do, but yeah, the Dallas Mavericks fan base is really hurting right now, and that sucks, dude, because they had a generational superstar talent in Luka Doncic. They just went to the NBA Finals. We're thinking, yo, we got Luka, we got Kyrie, we got this deep roster. We can really go forth and compete for who knows how many more years, like 7 years or something at best. But now they trade him away. Nico Harrison trades Quentin Grimes to the 76ers. I am thankful. Thank you for that, Nico. He's 8 billion times better than Caleb Martin. I don't think Caleb Martin's even played a game for the Mavericks yet. So yeah, the Mavericks have just made so many lopsided moves. It's insane. I don't know if Nico Harrison is going to keep his job. And yeah, he not only destroyed the Mavericks franchise, but he is stopping the Sixers from continuing their tank by doing so. Before we head out, let's head over to Tankathon, where we got the updated leaderboard. We got the 76ers officially 1 game behind the Brooklyn Nets. This was not a good game to win, man, because the Nets play the Atlanta Hawks, and Trae Young is probable in that game. So we'll see what happens there. If the Nets are able to beat the Hawks, that will help out a bit because they'll only be 0.5 games ahead of the Sixers. But if they end up losing, they'll be 2 games ahead of the Sixers in the Tankathon Wars. So that's a pretty decent lead that they got and might be able to really solidify that number 5 spot, especially when you look at the Nets' upcoming schedule. They're playing some pretty decent teams, man. They got the Hawks and then the Celtics and the Pacers twice, and none other than the Dallas Mavericks on March 24th. Go over to the Sixers, and they are playing some worse teams in the Spurs and the Hawks and the Pelicans, but they are also playing the OKC Thunder and the Houston Rockets. So let's see how those teams battle it out. It will be really interesting to see whether the Sixers can lose all 5 of those games. I hope they do, but yeah, man, the Nets playing the Pacers twice, playing the Celtics once. If they could beat the Hawks, I'll feel a little better about the Sixers winning this game because you could still be in striking distance to get that number 5 spot. But I can't really see it, man. With the rest of the Nets' schedule and the Sixers refusing to sit Quentin Grimes and all these guys on the Sixers fighting for their NBA lives. I mean, that's the thing. With the Nets, they have sort of had the same roster the entire year and have kind of sucked the entire year. But the Sixers, they have been expected to go make a playoff run, and all the guys used for that said playoff run are not even playing, so they're just pulling dudes out of the G League and signing guys to 10-day contracts, and they're fighting for their NBA lives, you know what I mean? So they're fighting every single game, and you're due for some wins here and there. But with the Nets schedule and the Sixers schedule and how they've been refusing to sort of sit Quentin Grimes and all these guys really stepping up. And I have heard that Tyrese Maxey might soon be back into the mix, which makes no sense. I hope he just sits for the rest of the season. I don't know whether the Sixers are going to be able to get in that number 5 spot, but hey, man, still plenty of season left. Let's just sim this lottery real quick. All right, number 7. Number 7 again. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is why I want that number 5 spot. Yep, number 1. Never mind. Cooper Flag, welcome to Philadelphia. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you're new around here, I appreciate the support here on NZ for 3. No matter how garbage the Sixers are, we're here to talk and react to them. And if you are a Sixers psychopath as well and you are sick in the head and still watch this basketball team for some reason, hit that like, subscribe button. Helps me out a lot. But that's pretty much all I got. Peace.